Hi guys, my name is Audrey. My star sign is a Taurus. Stability, sometimes people take as stubborn. I will give you my all and I will give you 100%. But when you, I guess, cross me or if there's mistrust there and you lie to me, it's done. People are grinding here. It's a place that truly can eat you up and spit you out. Just because you settle down doesn't mean it's gonna be boring. When you are just with your people and no one else exists in the world and you guys can just be silly and have fun and then just, you can embarrass each other, I don't know, and just have fun with it, that's what makes it a night for me. I think it's really important to have a drive and to have discipline in your life. Their goal of having a family is like important to them. I can be gullible in a sense of I will give people second, third, fourth chances. I gotta work on myself and I need to figure out what I want. My goal is someone committed to me and me only and long term. Always looking on the bright side of things instead of what's the worst that can happen, what's the best that can happen.
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us. First of all, thank you to all of our listeners. We've been getting a ton of growth and engagement over the past few weeks, so we got to thank you guys out there for that. Today, we got a special guest on the show. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience, your name, what you do, and your star sign.
Hi guys, my name is Audrey. I work in beauty e-commerce, so essentially anything to do with the digital shopping experience online. My star sign is a Taurus.
Taurus.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
You know, everybody says you guys are stable and not toxic at all, but I've had different experiences. Yeah.
What is your experience with a Taurus?
The opposite of that. Yeah.
I feel like
bad for my mental health. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Stability, sometimes people take as stubborn, but I'm like, no, I just know what I want and I have my routines going.
Okay.
So that's why I feel like we get the bad rap for it. And we have the crossover also of Aries sometimes.
That surprises me because Aries is
they're fire. Yeah. We have it in us, but we like try to stay cool.
Are you more the cool one in relationships or are you more the fiery?
I would say I am the cool one, but I have a lot of spunk and energy in me. So then I feel like I try to bring out, I guess, that side of someone else if they're a little bit more shy and introverted. But I try to keep my cool.
Interesting. You are kind of a dichotomy because you seem like a very sweet person, like just first impression, but you do seem like you have that side to you. Like
Thank
you seem I feel like you have like a switch. And if you flip that switch, it's like game over kind of thing.
Honestly, I do get that from my friends a lot too. And friends newer, but also who've known me for a while, where they will say, you're super sweet. But then when you cross me, you don't want to go there. Like,
kind of like done. Long fuse, big bomb type of thing.
Yeah. Because I am someone, I'm like a lover girl. I will give you my all and I will give you 100%. But when you, I guess, cross me or if there's mistrust there and you lie to me, it's done. Yeah. Because when I give it my all, I expect the same from someone else.
Yeah. Okay, so dating in LA.
Yeah.
Has been known, it's probably the hardest place in the world to date. It's like this is like the NBA.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like G League, this isn't like D1, this is like the NBA. How's your experience been like with all the celebrities, fake people, narcissists, sugar daddies? It's like how have you navigated that whole scene? What's your experience been like?
Ooh, it's an interesting one. I've been in LA for 6 years now. So I moved here January 2020. And then COVID hit, March 2020. And I had a COVID boyfriend for a month, but then that feels like a year during COVID time. And then I had a long distance boyfriend a couple years ago from Seattle, actually. We didn't know each other there. But in terms of dating actually in LA, it is so hard. And I feel like it's truly because people here are for themselves, and that's not to say I so admire people are grinding here. It's a place that truly can eat you up and spit you out, and people are working hard, but I feel like the guys that I have tried to date have the Peter Pan syndrome where they don't want to grow up and they don't want to commit, and so that is hard for me because I'm looking for that long-term partner and someone that I want to grow a family with. And I don't think LA is my end all be all. And people that I've met so far do want to stay here or they're not open to moving somewhere else. So maybe I'm just in the wrong area of dating. I don't know. But also, I truly do believe my person is out there. It probably is just not in LA.
Mm-hmm. It's what people have told me. I have Peter Pan syndrome.
People tell you that?
Yeah. It's not true, though. That's fake news. That's fake news, CNN. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet.
Do you think that's true, though?
I just think that I was like a loser in my early 20s. You know what I mean?
Does that mean?
Like, I didn't know how to talk to girls.
Okay.
I wasn't successful. Like, girls didn't pay me attention. So it's like, all right, I finally got it now. So I'm just throwing my cards, like, after, like, years of struggle. Like, shouldn't I have a little bit of fun first before, like, settle down and, like, you know, have to live a boring life the rest of my life, you know?
See, and I feel like that is where guys are steered the wrong way, where it's like, just because you settle down doesn't mean it's going to be boring, you know?
Everybody says that, and then everybody that I know that gets married, it's like, first couple months you see him just like normal. Next couple months you see him once in a while, and then you never see him again.
Yeah.
And they're playing board games with their married friends, you know.
You see me every day.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Open marriage is like different. That's like you're married technically, you know, but
What are you talking about?
I mean,
When
you
you're
are married, but it's not
married.
like married. Like you're
Okay, like I don't know what that means. Just because I'm not married in
not
some
like you're not that
suburban
married.
town with like 5 kids running around doesn't mean I'm not married.
Yeah, but I'm
It's
saying you're
still
not
marriage.
that married.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Like you're not married like where you're like, oh, come home to the kids and the picket fence and like you're like mowing your lawn and shit, you know?
Not every marriage is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're in an open marriage.
Even if you were in a monogamous marriage, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but if you're in a monogamous marriage, you're not gonna go out with your friends like to the club.
See, I do have friends like that though. And that's where I'm like, okay, when I'm in a relationship, I want to be like that. They're like, we call them like the cool parents because they still will take the time to go out with us, go to dinner, go clubbing. And then they're like, okay, like we'll go home now. But they still had an amazing time with us. And I think also prioritizing your friends and your friendships, when that is something that is a high value of you, then that's like something you will continue to like live out, you know? And they're your partner. Like they have to allow you, like not allow you, but there has to be that trust. You know what I mean? So like if you want to go out with the guys or like even with your group of friends, whatever, trusting that, you know, you're just gonna go out and then come back home at the night to that person.
Yeah, but I don't get the point of like going out if you're married. Like
to go dance and have fun.
Like what, you just like sit there like this for like 3 hours? Yeah.
Because aren't you?
You're not talking to chicks. Like you're just like sitting there like.
Yeah, because you're having fun with your friends.
No, your friends are having fun and you're watching them have fun. That's what it sounds like to me.
Are you saying you're watching them have fun, being able to like flirt if they're single?
Yeah.
So then it sounds like you potentially want to be in like something more open too. If you like.
If I was in a relationship, that'd be ideal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
or I just wouldn't go out. Like when I was with Kendra for like a long time, like I would still go out here and there, but I'd be like, all right, it's 11:30. Like, what are we doing here, folks?
Yeah, but the problem is
like, why are we like?
The problem is that you think that your individual experiences apply to every other person on the planet. They don't. People have different desires and different aspirations.
Yeah, like I could see like there's some girls that I know that honestly just love going out to dance. And they just go out and even if they're not talking to dudes, they're just you know, like having a great time. I don't know how to do that. Like I've tried to do it. I've gone down like, all right, I'm gonna dance, and like after like 3 minutes, I'm like, what do I just like sit here and wiggle my arms for 3 hours? Like what? I don't understand like what goes on inside your brain to have fun when you're like just dancing. Like what is the actual thing that makes it fun, you know?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, just that dopamine, you know, it's like we work so hard throughout the week. I have a typical 9-to-5 job and the girls and I are just like, who wants to go out and have a good time? We just want to go dance and have fun. And I literally actually just had that type of weekend last weekend. And we were risking it because we were going to Little Friend in Venice, and sometimes they can have good DJ, sometimes they can't. And we lucked out, and it was like we went to dinner, had the best conversations. It was just me and my 3 other girlfriends. Then we go dancing, best DJ. The DJ, it was his birthday. He was jamming, and it was all the songs that I grew up with. And so I think like when you are just with your people and no one else exists in the world and you guys can just be silly and have fun and then just you can embarrass each other, I don't know, and just have fun with it. That's what makes it a night for me. And it wasn't like we were on the prowl for any boys at all. It was just like, let's go have a night. Let's go have fun. We haven't been all together since the holidays and we enjoy each other's presence and time. So
yeah, I could see the dinner part makes sense to me. I like being at dinner, like dancing. Having like funny ass conversations with your boys, you know, you're like making fun of each other. But then I feel like, all right, then we get to like the club or whatever and it's like super loud or you're like screaming in people's ears. I guess I just don't like dancing.
Okay. So if you don't like dancing, then that's like a whole other.
But I don't think any guy likes dancing for the sake of dancing. I think they like dancing because they're trying to dance with a girl.
No.
Unless they're gay. Like if they're gay, okay.
No.
The issue is that some guys have this mentality that like they believe that the intent and the mindset that they have also would apply to the opposite sex. But the reality of it is that women love to get ready and like gossip and like talk about shit and just like have a champagne or wine and just like hang out with their friends and like that whole set experience from the start to the finish of like going to the club and like do this and like that whole experience to them is having fun, even if every single one of them was taken and married or with their significant other.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So then, but you're saying that guys are the same as girls because if you're married and your wife goes out,
yeah,
then what are the guys doing?
I don't know. That's why I don't want to get married. Like that's what I'm scared of. That like okay, like if you met a guy and you're like, oh, like you're just met him, you're making conversation. He was married. Let's say he wasn't married. Even if he wasn't, it doesn't matter. And you're like, oh, what did you do last night? And he's like, oh yeah, me and the boys went out dancing last night. Wouldn't you be like,
yeah, but nobody says
you might be
nobody
gay.
Says that though. They say we just went to the club.
Yeah, we had a boys' night.
Look, you're intentionally making it sound
like
gay.
You're talking to girls too. Like they say it's a boys' night. I feel like it means you're talking to chicks.
No, that doesn't. What do you mean? Why?
What are you just going to the club and jerking each other off in the corner?
No, you don't have to jerk each other off.
What do you do at the club when you're not like? What do you mean?
You go to the club. The guys like last night, for example, there was this group of guys that were at the club table next to us.
Yeah,
and they like, you know, there was like a group of them and they were just like hanging out and like having fun. There were probably like 2 girls and like 6-7 guys. They bought a bunch of bottles and like, you know, they had a good time, I guess. It seemed like.
To me, okay, sometimes I'll do this thing where I'll like look around the club and just like watch people. Mm-hmm. And I never see guys who are just like having fun existing at the club. Like it always looks like they're not actually having fun. They're kind of just like sitting there.
Really?
Like even the guys, like the group, a big group of guys, like I see them standing there and everybody's like almost like pretending to have fun. It's like they're like, yeah, let's take a shot, bro. Oh yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look like they're actually having fun to me.
Yeah, but it's what about the concept of just wanting to be around other people? Mm-hmm. Like what's the like for a lot of introverts? Being at home by themselves and just like watching TV and that's just that's their comfort zone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just a comfortable space for them to be in where they don't feel stressed. They don't feel the pressure of society. They don't feel the pressure of having to entertain other people, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But as soon as they go out and in the environment, and majority of people who are introverts, they have to like drink in order to become more comfortable, or you know, some might have to take drugs or whatever it is. But if somebody is an ambivert or an extrovert, you know, for them, this is a normal part of their daily routine. It's just like being around other people, and that gives them the satisfaction. The same way an introvert gets satisfaction from being by themselves, the extrovert doesn't feel that way. The extrovert in an environment where they're by themselves, they feel like claustrophobic. They feel like, oh, they need to be around other people. So it's just opposite personalities.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Not all guys are introverts.
I just feel like, okay, but then why would you go to the club? If you're a guy, you just want to like just go get Korean barbecue and like, you know, have fun with your friends, joke around, stuff like that. I feel like you wouldn't go out.
I mean, again, you wouldn't go out.
Yeah.
But some other guy might just want to go out to actually have a good time with like listening to loud music and like dance.
Oh, it just sounds so boring to me.
Yeah.
It sounds like a nightmare.
It's understandable, but it just sounds boring to you. You know, that's why there's like hundreds of people that go to different clubs. I mean, on a given night, there's thousands of people out at a club. You know, not every single one of them is trying to fuck a chick.
I think most of them are. I think they say they're not, but I think most of them are. I think most of them are.
Some of them, perhaps. Are you currently in a relationship or not?
No.
You're single. And how old are you again?
I'm 30.
You're 30. Okay. And so, how many relationships have you been in?
3.
And what was the timeline?
High school, 1.5 years, COVID, month.
So you said the month, and then after that,
About like 4 or 5 months, 2023. So it's been a while, but yeah, not a long-term
so
relationship.
2023, 4 or 5 months. And so you've been single for like 1.5 years. Well, no, 2 years.
Yeah, over 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. What do you find to be something you're having a difficult time with? Because obviously you said like you moved to LA 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So prior to that, from the age 24 and before, LA dating has nothing to do with it. So what would you say is the main issue you're having?
I feel like I'm having a hard time finding people who are, I guess, value driven and values that I also have. I think it's really important to have a drive and to have discipline in your life. And I, again, have found it a little difficult with the Peter Pan syndrome that guys have here, because a lot of times they'll focus on themselves and then their partner comes second. And I think there is a balance between taking care of yourself. But if you're really trying to foster a relationship, I think the lack of showing up and drive to like commit to a person is what I'm missing here. And I want someone very kind, and I want someone that, has a good job, and honestly, just the very, in my eyes, bare minimum to a relationship I really cannot find here. And I feel like I'm involved in so much. I really put myself out there. I'm going, running on the weekends, and like I'll try to say hi to people, and I'm going to like the bars, going to Jameson's, I'm watching sporting games, like I'm doing these things and being around so many people. But I feel like when you mentioned too, guys not approaching girls and like kind of that growing up of having that confidence, I feel like boys sometimes can be a little like lost, or like they get a little nervous, and that's fine. But I feel like back in even like my parents' day and age, even my grandparents, but the parents' day and age, it's like guys the phones weren't there, you couldn't hide behind that, and there weren't the dating apps, and I'm on that, and I'm having a hard time with that too. But it's like just taking a risk, going up to a girl saying, oh my gosh, you look beautiful today, or like, can I buy you a drink, or just like those simple things. Boys are just kind of like sticking to their guys, and that's something I'm like, hey, let's like talk to each other,
Boys night out.
Boys night out. They don't care about the girls that night.
How many girlfriends do you have?
Close girlfriends here, I'd probably say like 7 to 8, like close girlfriends.
Okay. And then, well, I mean, that's a lot. So, and are all of them single?
All but one.
So
two.
out of 10 of you,
yeah,
only 2 are in a relationship currently.
Yeah, like serious relationship.
Are you guys around the same age?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, okay. So then, would you say that they are also having, like, when you guys are having a conversation, are they all telling you the same thing?
Yes.
As far as what their problem is.
Yeah, the girls who are single, yes. And the girls who are in relationships are like, do not settle. The person will come. Because the ones that are in those serious relationships, I love their their boyfriend so much, and exactly what they have is what I want. And so I'm like, I know they're out there. And what's funny is one actually is from LA and one isn't from LA. For the
But they
boy
met
side.
in LA.
But they met in LA.
Okay. Okay.
So I know it's out there.
Well, I suppose statistically it's still this, because that would be about 20% of men in LA. But okay. So what's the age range of the guys that are you dating at all? Like, are you going on dates or no?
I haven't been on a date in over a year.
Okay. What's the oldest you've dated?
Like maybe a year older than me, if that.
Okay.
I usually date younger, to be honest.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So perhaps that's what the problem is.
That could be the issue.
That's definitely the issue.
Okay.
Of course, guys don't want to settle down. You're dating 25-year-olds.
So when you
What do you mean?
say Peter Pan syndrome,
Yeah.
you're referring to guys who are in their 20s.
Yes. And I say that hesitantly because
I don't think that really qualifies.
the last guy I dated, he was my age or 1 year older. And then the ones when I was in my mid 20s, young 20s, like they were maybe a year or two younger than me. So it wasn't that crazy. But
Yeah,
now
but everybody's still in their 20s.
Yeah.
So
Peter Pan is like, you're talking about Peter Pan before he went to Neverland is who you're dating. The Peter Pan syndrome is referring to the Peter Pans that have been in Neverland and are living forever.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
But the ones you're referring to haven't gone to Neverland yet. They're still in their 20s. Like,
Yeah,
that's not
doesn't-
Peter Pan
Well-
syndrome. That's just like a 25-year-old.
And I feel like when I was in my 20s, though, dating a 30-year-old, to me at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, that's like too, I don't want to say old, but I was like, that's just like not in my
Oh, really?
scope. Yeah. I was like, no, I need to date people around my age, or like I was dating younger. But now that I'm 30, it really has had a shift for me. And like,
One would hope.
thank God. And I'm like, I just can't date young. Like the youngest I would go is maybe 28.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what is the oldest you would date is 31?
No, now it's like 36, 37.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Because when I said what's the oldest you would date is, or maybe I said what's the oldest you have dated. Okay. So you're open to date somebody in their late 30s at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. And are your friends also dating people who are like younger?
No, they're dating people like their age or maybe like a year or two older.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, yeah. I mean, I would say, just based upon my experience and knowing guys in that age range, you're not gonna find guys that are ready to settle down, especially in LA, as much in that age range, just because people who tend to, especially if they're coming from other cities to LA, right? Mm-hmm. They have aspirations. There's a reason why they're moving here. And majority of the time, the reason is because they're so eager to pay more rent, and get paid less. Like that's just not particularly the reason. The reason is because they have dreams and there is like their goals that they're trying to achieve. And most of the time that takes time for them to, get to that point of where they want to be at. And so that kind of limits the desire to want to settle down at that point.
Yeah.
And also you become exposed to just a variety of different cultures as far as women are concerned, and different looks, and the beauty that's out here. And so that automatically kind of dilutes the perception a little bit, where then you become delusional a little into thinking that you could get the hottest girl just soon to come to realize that you have to also up your game to that level. And a lot of guys just like don't have that ability, or just are not really putting the work into it in order to get to that point. So there's always this just like back and forth and give and take until somebody does decide to settle down. So when you say settle down, what does that mean? Like what does settling down look like for you? Like, who have you met? What were their traits that you felt like this is you settling down?
Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of phases when it comes to settling down. And I think when it comes to at least like maybe phase one, let's say, mine is understanding that their goal of having a family is like important to them. They want kids, and they, you know, want to be in this committed relationship with me. And once we align on, you know, do we think this would work long term? Because I'm someone also now that I'm so much more confident in who I am over the past 2 or 3 years. I know what I want and I know what I don't want. And so I will be pretty candid, I feel, in the first couple dates. And if that person says like, actually, I don't want kids, or I'm not willing to move, or I'm like, okay, this probably won't work out, and that's okay. But I think, I mean, most importantly, settling down is having a family to me, and something that, you know, I grew up in such a positive family, and something that I want to then give to my next generation, my kids. And I think also being able to just find someone that wants to live a very fruitful and fun life, you know?
Go dancing with you.
Go dancing. Exactly. Be out till like 2 a.m. with our other couple friends. Like, yeah. So yeah, I think just finding someone that is putting in the work that I'm putting in, essentially.
So the 2 friends that you have who have found their partner, or they're just long-term relationships, they're not married yet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how long have they been together?
One has been together for almost 2 years. They're getting engaged this year, which is very exciting. And then the other one, they have been together like off and on 3 different times. So this time around they've been together like, I want to say over 6 or 7 months.
Oh, okay.
This 3rd time around.
So that's going to end at some point. So
no.
Oh, it for sure will.
3rd time's a charm. Have you ever heard?
Or not. The charm could be that they're going to end it. Okay. So the one friend who's getting engaged, we'll take that the most seriously. Would you say that she is more mature in comparison to the rest of your friend group?
I would feel like we're all pretty honestly on like the same level of maturity. She was someone truly like she just did not settle, and she wrote down exactly on it like what she wanted on a piece of paper, and it's crazy. She has it to this day, and she wrote down what this person looks like, what their family's like, you know, ambitious. He lives in California. Like she knew. And then when she's from Australia too. So that's why I say like he lives in California. And to the T of everything she wrote down is her partner. And it's amazing that like she knew exactly what she wanted. She didn't steer from that, and she kept that piece of paper. And years later it's come true. So
well, it sounds like to me that she knew what she wanted, but also she matched that realistic expectation, right? Because if you could want these things, right? Like, for example, she's from Australia and she wanted somebody from California. Yes, like the chances of her meeting somebody from California in Australia, there is a chance, but it's not that high, right?
Yeah,
so
but she lived in the States.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she had to put the effort of like moving to California.
Yeah.
And then she had to put the effort of like sort of meeting that person halfway when it comes to the traits that they possess in order for them to feel the same way about her. And I feel like a lot of the times people have these expectations of like, hey, I don't want to settle, but they don't want to put the same energy and effort into bettering themselves in order to meet that standard.
Yeah, there definitely are people like that. I feel like at least who I surround myself and who I'm with, they always want to better themselves, and not to say that, you know, we fall short sometimes, sure. But I maybe it's also like expectation versus standard, you know, and not going to a lower standard than of what you want in this life. But I feel like from the years I've known her, she really is someone who's like willing to change. She knows that she has her faults, she has her blind spots, but she knows that like also her person will make her a better person too. Like they're going to complement each other with that.
If I called all your friends, what would they say is your biggest red flag?
My biggest red flag? Ooh, I would say people pleasing.
People pleasing. Why do you think that's a red flag?
I feel like it's a red flag because I can be gullible in a sense of I will give people second, third, fourth chances, and they will be like, Audrey, that person is not good for you in terms of like relationships or even friendships. And it's like, why are you letting this person come into your life and suck the energy out of you? Because all you do is give. And I'm a lover girl. Like, I just want to like give everything to everyone all the time and make sure that people are happy. Which, you know, there's a pro to that, but the con of that is 9 times out of 10 when it's called out from my friends and they're always looking, you know, they always have my back, they'll be like, okay, you gotta like say no sometimes, and you gotta, you know, put your foot down, and you gotta make sure that you can also say no, and like not everyone has to like you all the time. And I think that's why like I want to be liked, and I want to make sure that I have the best image and all these things. But it's like, okay, I could literally do all the right things and check all the boxes, and that person still could not like me, and that's okay. And that's I've had to learn it the hard way.
Do you find yourself to be a bit passive at times?
Yes, definitely have more in the past. I've learned a lot more now how to not be. But yes, I think I can definitely be passive.
You think that affects you negatively when you're dating and in relationships?
In the past, yes, but now that it's been almost 3 years since I've dated someone, I'm like, okay, like that can't happen anymore, you know?
This just seems like such a long time, especially being in LA and especially being so active as you say you are.
Yeah. I honestly think when I look back and now that we're talking about it, I kind of went into hibernation and I was like, I got to work on myself and I need to figure out what I want, what I don't want, and like be fully confident in that, so I'm not conforming to someone else's life, you know?
Is it more so like the guys that you meet that you're like, oh, Peter Pan syndrome or something, you know, they're so focused on their work, they don't have time for you kind of thing, or don't put the effort in? Is it more so that they're not like giving you enough attention and effort in the relationship, or is it more that they don't want to commit and they want to see other girls too?
I think it can be both and then like separate at the same time. Like people don't want to commit, and then when I feel like I'm showing up and giving the energy and attention that I think they would want, I'm also not receiving that. And I've dated, I feel like, both types of people. And when it comes to showing up, I know everyone receives love in different ways, whether that's like gift giving or, you know, words of affirmation and all those things. And I feel like I really try to pay attention to what people are saying and how they like to, you know, feel seen and feel loved. And then when I think I'm trying to show that, it's not provided in return, which is really hard, because then I'm like, again, I feel like I'm giving, and I'm like, why isn't this person showing up for me? Like, am I doing something wrong? Like, and then when I try to bring up a conversation, I think that can scare guys sometimes, and they're like, wait, but
confrontation, you mean?
Yeah. And I try to like bring up a hard conversation.
Like, hey, why aren't you putting in the effort anymore?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, okay, if you like, this isn't working out, or like, you don't like me anymore, that's okay. Just like, let me know, instead of just retreating and not saying anything, you know?
Well, it seems like they're just not there.
Yeah.
Like they're not on the same page and not in the same place. And then once you do bring up the conversation, at that point, it's just like, this is no longer worth the trouble, because it's just like, why are we doing this? But it also seems like you putting, do you think, I mean, I don't know, but do you think that you putting the effort and like the energy and like giving could come off as a little too desperate?
I think it could, but I'm like, my right person wouldn't think that. Like they would be like, oh my gosh, like this person is cooking breakfast for me and like dropping off a lunch for me. Like I think that how I'm showing up for them, they would be able to give that back to me. Obviously, it doesn't have to be the same exact way, but the ways that I would feel loved and seen in a relationship. And so my person then wouldn't see me as coming off as desperate, if that makes sense.
I think that's actually a good attitude, because it's like, okay, on one hand, you could say, oh, I'm doing too much for guys, so I should pull back, because otherwise I'm going to keep, you know, ending up in these situations. But then it's like, okay, what if you start pulling back? Then you find the guy who's the right guy, and he would have been the one who would have reciprocated. But then you pulled back because you're so used to getting fucked over, whatever.
Exactly.
And then now you just never end up working out. And he's like, oh, she's not really putting the effort.
Exactly. Because, yeah, some guys could see that as desperate. And they're like, oh, my gosh, she, like, will not stay away from my office. She, like, keeps coming to my office and dropping off lunch, la, la, la. And it's like, wait, but that's who I am inherently. And that's who I want to show up as a person. And if that person doesn't like that, okay, like, I don't need to keep doing that for you, and we're not meant for each other, and that's fine.
It's interesting because anytime I have a conversation with someone about this, I always tell them that it's a numbers game. Yeah. And the more people you meet and the more people you go through these experiences with, is the more people you cross off the list who are not right for you. And so you will finally find the right person for you, because there's always the right person for somebody out there. But finding them, it's just having the courage to put the effort in and to go out there and meet them. And so give me a rundown of this, because I'm actually curious how this kind of looks like. Let's say you and I are dating. What are these efforts that you're actually doing and you've done in the past that you feel like is scaring people off? Because you said like bringing people lunch. Like, is that an actual thing that you do?
I love cooking. And so I would totally, meal prep or make food. I feel like that's an act of showing love for me and so, or to someone else. And so, yeah, I'd be so happy to do that. If that makes your life.
Would be, or you have done it?
I have done it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So tell me this example. So you were dating someone and then you made lunch for them.
Yeah. Or like pick it up or and drop it off.
And then you gave it to them. And then what was the reaction?
I mean, initially it's like, oh my gosh, this is so nice of you. No one's ever done this for me before. And so also when you hear that, you're like, oh my gosh, like no one's ever done this for you before. I'm going to keep doing this. But then honestly, what I come to find, and as I look back at that specific relationship that I did that in a lot, it's nothing about me though, that like, not nothing. It's honestly about them and like them not being honest with themselves of like what they do or do not want. And then it gets caught honestly in like this windstorm of like, okay, so you actually kept telling me you like this when you didn't like this. And then like now it's kind of being held against me towards the end of the relationship. And that's when you're not talking.
Lack of self-awareness.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Which happens often, right?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most important factors in having a successful relationship is having self-awareness. And even before going into a relationship is when you have that conversation with the person. And that's really the hard part of it, is trying to figure out the person that you're dating has self-awareness or not, because they think they do majority of the time, right? Like you sit in front of someone and you're having a conversation and you say, hey, what do you like? And they'll tell you a bunch of things, but then 6 months down the road, they're like, oh, I just realized I don't. And it's like, well, fuck, I just wasted 6 months of my life for somebody who didn't have the awareness of knowing themselves well enough to give me the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, because I was dating a girl one time who very similar, where like, she'd sleep over and then, I'd work and then she'd like clean the room and like make the bed and stuff like that. Or she'd like cook for me, like stuff like that. And I guess maybe it's different because I did communicate to her like over and over. I was like, these other things, I need this in the relationship. And she wouldn't do the other things, but then she'd always bring up like, oh yeah, but I always like clean for you. And I'm like, yeah, I have a maid, like, or like I cook for you. It's like, yeah, but like Uber Eats, like, like I appreciate that, but it doesn't really matter that much to me. It's not like what's important to me. And then she wasn't doing the things that I was communicating was important. And then she'd use the other things as like, but look, I did this and this and this for you, which I was like, no, but don't do that. Like, do the other stuff,
Okay.
But it sounds like in your situation, the guys aren't communicating that.
Yeah, communicating it. And then, I mean, my most recent relationship, I won't get into it that much, but I was one of many girls and just didn't know I was one of many girls until I got the "Hey girly" on Instagram.
You're the like
I was
third person in the last month who have told us like on the podcast that same kind of thing.
No way.
Yeah.
No, it's a real thing. The "Hey girly." It's like a joke in the girls too. It's like, "Hey girly." So, I mean, and that's super shitty, you know, like being cheated on, lied to.
Were you guys like exclusive or was it okay?
Yeah. And he lived on the East Coast and I live on the West Coast. And so like having that inherent trust in someone and giving it my all. When we do see each other, I'm giving it my all. And when we're FaceTiming, I'm giving my all. And so then when that comes out, it's like, yeah, I just wasted so much time on you. And again, like that had nothing to do though with me. It had everything to do with his own insecurity, his ego. And I have learned so much from that too. And been able to just understand I did nothing wrong in that relationship. Like I gave 110% and I don't regret what happened because I showed up and I was there no matter what. And he wasn't, and he'll have to live with that forever. So.
Yeah. And long distance never works. I don't know why people still try that shit. It
works for some people.
It only works if there is a end time. If it's like, oh, I'm like at school for the summer, but then I'm coming or something like that. But when it's just like we just live in different places, like that's not gonna work.
And depending, it's like, okay, is one side having to sacrifice for the other just for like a short period of time? Do we have to move at one place just to be together? Is someone's job flexible? Can we do that? Like there's so many different variables when it comes to long distance too that are people willing to, you know, sacrifice a little bit.
Yeah, but you gotta sacrifice a lot, I think.
When you say one of many girls, how did you know? How many are we talking?
I mean, from what I know, one other serious girl, and then like he was still on Hinge and dating other people. So who knows, like how many?
So he had a girlfriend in the East Coast.
Yep.
And then that's the girl who reached out to you.
No. So initially, the girl that reached out to me was a Hinge girl, and she was like, "Hey girly, I thought I saw you on campus because
campus?
He was in med school, which is also crazy. Like he was becoming a doctor and did all this. And she was like, I think I saw you on campus. Like I know that you're all like your boyfriend's also dating someone else who was the other actual girlfriend. But I didn't know at the time. So I got that like the second or third day of January 2024. And then the next day I get it from the actual girlfriend, and she was like, "Hey girly, I have been dating this guy for almost a year now." And
so you were the other woman.
Yeah, essentially. And I had no idea. No idea. And I would never ever if I knew that, I'd be out of that.
Of course.
2 seconds. Yeah. And I would message the girl too, and I'd be like, "Hey girl, by the way, I am the other girl, but I didn't know I was the other girl." It was insane.
Did you like confront him?
Oh my gosh, yeah, immediately.
Oh, shit. What happened?
He was on the plane back to Boston at the time, and From here, and he'd visited me for a week, and it was insane. And I messaged him. I was like, "What the heck? Who is this other girl?" And he was like, "Oh my gosh, babe, I'll call you when I'm off the plane. I'll explain the whole thing." And that first message was a Hinge girl that. It is true, like, they matched on Hinge before we even started dating. It was back in the summer. We dated starting in the fall. And then the next day, I get from, like, the actual girlfriend. And then I was like, okay, now this is, like, even gotten bigger. And so I confronted him again. And that was on, again, like, the Thursday of the new year. He ends up flying back to me that Saturday. And he was like, "I came back for you. I want to fight for you. Like, you're the one, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "No, we're done. Like, I don't know why you wasted your money coming back here. Like, this is not going to happen."
He's probably like, "Fuck, I lost all three girls in one fell swoop," you know?
And we all compared stories. We're all comparing stories, comparing timelines, dates, pictures, all these things.
Yeah, when girls get in this mood, you guys are like you got the yarn and the thumbtacks, and you guys are fucking figuring it out.
You better
like
watch out.
Yeah,
my gosh. We are investigators to the T. And there were like photos. You would like zoom in the background, and you're like, wait, that's her dog leash. And he sent me that. And it's pink. And I sent it to her. I'm like, "Is this your dog's leash?" that's her dog's leash.
That's funny.
And then she's like, that's why my toothbrush was underneath his sink that week that I came. Like all these things just lining up. And we're like, you are so caught red-handed. It's not even funny.
And so what's the reason that the Hinge girl reached out to you?
I want to say it's because she heard, I can't remember exactly. I think like she heard he was seeing other people and she was trying to have the actual girlfriends back and being like, hey, just so you know, like because at that time, the Hinge girl, the summer girl, the Hinge girl, the actual girlfriend was actually dating him. And so she was trying to be a girl's girl being like, hey, your boyfriend matched with me on Hinge. We actually didn't meet up, but like he's actively on dating apps, just so you know. But it didn't make sense in my timeline because I wasn't dating him at the time. And so she was trying to be a girl's girl, being like, hey, I think I saw you on campus. Like, are you so-and-so's boyfriend or girlfriend? And then I end up not being part of that equation until the actual girlfriend reached out to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
I never understand how like, because I've like dated multiple girls if it's like casual, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't understand, like if I have a girlfriend and she's like, hey, you want to hang out Thursday? All right, maybe once or twice I could be like, nah, I'm going out with the boys or, you know, whatever excuse. But like after a while, it's like, how many times do your schedules conflict? And it's like, wait, why can't you hang out tonight? And it's like, oh, it's just like your random person's birthday again? Like, you know what I mean? Like how many times, like how do you think of enough lies to like cover the, oh, sorry, I couldn't FaceTime right now, even though it's like 8 p.m. at night.
Enough lies and keeping your story straight.
Yeah,
that's
that too,
what's crazy to me. Like he went so far, you guys, where he told me, because apparently I was the ones who wanted to like confess everything to me. I was like, wait, but when I would post about you, and I never posted his face, like I was actually very just more private about him. And I would post him like his back on my story, but like you wouldn't see his face, didn't tag him, whatever. But then I was like, but when you reposted that, didn't your girlfriend see it? And at first he gave the excuse. He's like, oh, like I don't even know how to use technology, like blah, blah, blah. Then he was like, so when you posted about me and I reposted it, I would block her and her friends. And then vice versa. When she had posted about me, I would block you and your friends. I was like, how are you going? I don't even know how to do that. Like, how are you going that far?
Yeah, that's
diabolical. You're in med school. How do you have time for all these med tests? Plus, you're dating 5 different girls. Plus, you're keeping your story straight. Like, how is this happening? Like, that is stress to the max. Your Oura ring would be going off.
What did he say? Did you bring that up or no?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. He honestly had no words to say. Like, I remember when he came back to visit me to try to win me back, we were sitting on the beach and I just was going after him and like a story after example after I was texting his other girlfriend because we by that time had lined up everything. I was like, how did you do this? And he was like, I don't know. I was just so stressed and like I honestly like he just couldn't even think of like what to say. Like he was just hysterical. And I was like,
it's interesting to me because like one of these days I want to like call the guy and just have a conversation, like have the girl have the conversation and be like, hey, like I just want to ask you a bunch of questions, like explain to me how logically any of this made sense in your mind. But
seriously,
this is very interesting. So do you, if he was honest with you and he had said that, hey, I'm in another relationship, but let's say they're in an open relationship at that point. And would you have said, okay, like I'm willing to try this, or that's not something that you would ever do?
No, because my goal is someone committed to me and me only and long term. And I think me being very like just emotional and in tune with my emotions to a point where like I would get too attached to someone that I want them to myself. It'd be hard for me. It would be hard.
Interesting. What's your love languages?
Mine is quality time. I love spending time. That's why we go dancing a lot with the girlies. We love quality time anytime we get with them. And words of affirmation.
Okay, so those are your top 2.
Yes.
And then so rank them. So quality time, words of affirmation. What's the third?
Let's see. Oh, I would say acts of service is a big one for me. When you just do it without me asking, me knowing.
Sure.
That's a huge one.
So what is that, third, or would you switch that? Okay. And then
I think is it gift giving?
Gift giving and touch. Physical touch.
Okay. So what's funny is I would think that physical touch, I want it to be like my second or third, but I just never grew up, I guess, with a lot of like physical touch with like friends or family. Like we'd give hugs and, you know, just like normal kisses on the cheeks, whatever. But I want that so badly, but I'm just uncomfortable doing that, if that makes sense. And so I think I'm
uncomfortable in private or uncomfortable in public?
In public. Because I think the PDA also, I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be that couple who does the PDA. Like, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's time and place, you know. I think it's really sweet when couples are, you know, holding each other's hands or like a rub on the back or, you know, kissing, but I don't need a full makeout session. Like there's other people in this room, you know, like
Sure.
I don't need that.
Sure. And so would that be your last one, or gift giving is your last one?
I think that gift giving is my last one.
Got
yeah. And physical touch would probably be my fourth.
Okay. And these are what you receive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about what's your love language for what you're giving?
My first one is acts of service.
Sounds like it.
Yes. Showing up for people. I love baking cakes for people's birthdays. I'm always showing up at someone's like marathon with a sign. Like I will show up. I will be there for you, guaranteed. I would also say, honestly, words of affirmation. I really try to be that positive, optimistic friend, truthful and honest, but I think always looking on the bright side of things instead of what's the worst that can happen, what's the best that can happen, you know? I think gift giving is probably my third.
Interesting.
And I think I try to be very intentional with what I'm giving them too. And like listening if someone's like, oh my gosh, I was eyeing that jacket the other day. And then like, I'll remember that. And then for their birthday, I'll, you know, go get that or something. And then let's see, my fourth, what is left? Gift giving and what's
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation is my second.
Oh.
Yeah. Acts of words of affirmation.
And then you said giving a quality time.
Quality time is probably third. Like I feel like my top three are how I give it too. And then probably, gift giving and physical touch.
Physical touch is the last one. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And so most of the guys that you're meeting also, are you finding that they have the same love languages or no?
Initially, I like think they do. And then I think as time goes on, they don't. And I will say, and correct me if I'm wrong too, when it comes to saying how someone feels, giving that like the acts of service and words of affirmation, because quality time I feel like is like a given in a relationship. Like you should be spending time together, you should be going on dates together. That one seems to be the easiest for a guy to show up in, but when it comes to conversations or post conversations of like, oh my gosh, I had the best time with you tonight, thank you so much for taking me out to dinner, or like I had the best, you know, vacation or what trip or whatever, that's not there. And I think I'm like, wait, did they like that? Did they not like that? Like the confirmation of it is what's missing for me. And that's where like the lack of words of affirmation, I'm like, so what do you
you're not
think?
getting the validation that you need.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't think every couple needs quality time.
What?
I knew he was going to say this.
Wait,
I
I'm
think-
so curious about this.
I think quantity time is underrated, actually.
Wait, and also, so it sounds like you're an introvert. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny. Not a lot of people read that on me.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, based off of what you were saying, it sounds like you're an
Yeah.
introvert.
A lot of people like we're in the same room. I'm working on my stuff. You're working on your stuff.
Yeah.
Then we kind of talk here and there. But it's not quality time. It's quantity time. It's not like we're like.
Yeah.
Because like for a lot of introverts, it's like, oh man, like I got to think of a lot of shit to say. Especially for guys. Because like if I go on a date, it's like, it's always fun. But it's fun because I'm making it fun. You know what I mean? Like it's usually not, oh, the girl's really funny, so the date's fun. It's usually like, I have some funny stories. Let's go. But I have to put the team on my back. You know what I mean? Like if I left and it was some random guy, like the date would go to boring. But if she left and there's another girl, like it would still be fun.
Do you usually date people who are more extroverted or introverted than you?
Pretty mix, I would say.
Okay.
What would you say? Yeah, pretty mix. Yeah, I would say pretty mixed. Why do you ask?
I feel like when you're saying when you leave and you're having like to carry the team on your back, it's probably because they're a little bit more introverted. And if you're introverted, you probably want someone a little bit more extroverted so that you're not having to feel like, as the guy, I have to carry the team on the back and like share these stories. So then you're able to, like, it's a win-win, you know, like.
Maybe, but I also think, like, I feel like it's like the guy's responsibility to carry the date. And if a girl can do it, cool.
Yeah.
But I think most girls don't have to carry the date because, like, if you just sit there and, like, look hot and, like, are not weird, most guys are going to be like, okay, let's do a second date. Whereas, like, for guys, like, if you're boring even a little bit, like, it's like, boom, cut, game over. So, like, you have to, like, carry the date.
That's why. But I feel like that's not every guy. Like, it's a little bit, like, generalizing what a guy wants. I mean,
he loves to generalize. Just so you know.
I just caught on.
I'm going to tell you something about him, which is very interesting. You know, so when he said, you know, quantity time versus quality time, right? Like that's like very true about him. One of the biggest sort of hurdles that I had to, or the things that I had to make peace with, right, was that I couldn't challenge his best friend because of the amount of time they've had together and their length of their friendship. So, and like I believe that I do a lot of more quality time with him, but that to him doesn't have as much value versus the amount of time he's had with his other best friend, who he would say is like number one best friend. And I've tried to take that position and I just can't. Because I just don't have that childhood friendship. I can't go back in time, right? Like I met him, like it was like 5-6 years ago versus like he's known his best friend for like 15 years or something.
Yeah.
15, how long has it been? 15 years, yeah.
Like that.
So, and there's nothing I could do about that. It doesn't matter what I do. You know, within the 6 years, I could be with him every single day and like do everything possible for him. It still wouldn't trump that 15 years of friendship.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's what he values. And so it's a very like specific point of view on him is that he doesn't particularly value quality time as much as he does the quantity and the timeline and how much the quantity of time that you're spending with a person versus the quality of it.
I don't know if it's so much that for like relationships. I think it's more like it's like tiring to have to spend a lot of quality time all the time sometimes.
Oof. I mean,
it's like you got to think of shit to say and be funny and like be on, you know what I mean?
But
it's like,
that, I feel like that's not your person then. If you have to feel like you have to be on, even whether that's a partner or a friend. When my girls and I are together and we just sit in sweats and just like scroll on our phone and just hang out together, get takeout, we don't have to be chatting all the time. And
but that's quantity time. That's what I'm saying.
I disagree with that. I feel like it's still, there's levels of quality. It's like, okay, we can have this really in-depth conversation, catch up, you know, ask for advice about X, Y, and Z. That is definitely quality. But also I think like the quality in terms of just showing up for each other. And if that's the best that someone can do on that day for me, great. Like I still love being next to you, being around you, having your energy with me, you know?
Yeah, I think the difference is like if you, like I saw my wife every single day this week, right? But I feel like we haven't like actually seen each other. Like I see her in the morning and I see her at night. Like we kiss goodbye, whatever.
With me now.
No. But that's because there's no quality time.
Quality time.
No, the quantity have been there. There's been quantity every single day.
Yeah, quantity is what you have.
Yes,
yeah. But
there hasn't been quality.
Correct.
And so I feel like
important.
No. My point is that the quality time is what I'm eagering to have. Like I want to have, like I'm like I want to see her on Sunday and like sit down and like have a conversation and like talk for 2 hours, be like, hey, like how was your week? What did you do? Blah blah blah.
But if you're craving your quality time, then how come during the quantity time you didn't just make it into quality time?
Because we don't have the time to actually sit down. Like I'm going to do something, she's going to do something, or we're both doing stuff. So when you're saying you're like doing things and the person is just there, that doesn't mean you're having a time that's meaningful. That's just you're existing. Yeah. And a lot of women don't really value that as much. Mm-hmm. You know, for you, it's okay because you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to do my stuff and I'm focused, right? Like that's what it is. You're focused on other things. And that to women is like a big like red flag of like, oh, he's not focused on me as much.
Yeah. Well,
they
sometimes
want
it's like you focus all day, you get home, you're like, dude, my brain is like white, you know?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. Of course, with the right person, that would be totally fine.
Yeah.
Right. With the right person, you wouldn't have to always be turned on, as you say, and just, you know, having to prove yourself and like, you know, showing up with quality time every single day. That's true. But if you feel that way towards someone, that's because that person is not right for you. It's because
I don't know if I agree with you guys on this one. Because
on any other ones.
Okay, some people are just naturally like charismatic. They're funny. Their dad was funny, and now they're funny, and they just like naturally do everything. Like
genetically funny.
Genetically funny, yeah.
Runs
like,
in their veins.
I didn't grow up like that, so I had to like learn how to do that. So, but if I don't do that, then I'm not really like a lovable type of person.
But I disagree with you.
In whose eye? Like in your, like you think that about yourself?
He thinks
In
girl
reality.
thinks that about him.
I think that's just reality.
I disagree. I feel like, again, like we were saying, the person that shows up for you at any point in your life and that you can just be in silence with, and like you guys just know that you guys are still gonna, are there for each other, love each other, is that type of person for you? Because you shouldn't always have to be on, and it's probably uncomfortable for you because you didn't grow up that way, you know, like you feel like you always had to say something and like always put in that extra effort and making sure that like they're comfortable and making sure that everything's good with them. And I don't get it, but I feel like for guys, they always have to be in their masculine in terms of like making sure that, you know, they provide for the house and the like all of that stuff. I know it's a very societal norm, and but I feel like with your person, there still should be the equal of you feeling comfortable in your own skin and not always having to have the team on your back. And
I think there's nothing like what you're talking about, developing your personality. Yeah. And that's fine. And you have to. Yes, you should develop your personality. But I think you're developing your personality in the wrong area that you think women value. And I'll give you a very good example of it. What would you say you're very good at?
Like getting shit done.
That's one. But there are other things you're very good at. Sure. You're very good at piano.
Yeah.
And you're very good at social media.
Yeah.
Right. You have very great levels of skills in both of those areas.
Yeah.
You know, amongst other things that you just said, but those are byproducts of, you know, what creates them. Yeah. So a person that is compatible with you would have similar interests, and that person would have the interest of having a conversation with you about those subjects, and they would find that attractive versus you talking about some bullshit that doesn't really matter. Right. And I think, and a very good example of it is this, is that if I'm very, like me and my wife, yeah, she is passionate about acting, right? She's an actress. She does this, she does that. If I showed zero interest in what she does, then we wouldn't really be compatible.
So, but are you saying you're genuinely interested in acting? I'm
genuinely interested in creative, right? I'm not particularly interested in, I'm interested in the fact that there are things that I'm not interested in me acting, but I'm interested in making her good at acting. That's just a natural way of how I am, right? So the compatibility aspect of it is it because it works. Because what she is passionate about is the thing that I'm passionate about seeing her grow in.
Yeah, but that's a little bit of a cop-out.
But not really, because I actually enjoy it. When she's acting and she's doing auditions, I'm looking at her and I'm actually interested in making her better and being like, hey, like try this, try that. And that's to me is fun. And I'm having a good time doing it. And that's compatibility.
Yeah, but that's kind of like saying, oh, I'm just interested in whatever they're interested in. Like, let's say she was like...
that's not particularly true.
She was like a musician, and then you're like, oh, well, I'm interested in making her a better musician. Oh, she's a waitress. I'm interested in making her a better waitress.
If she was interested in fish, I would know nothing about fish.
Yeah, but you'd be interested in making her a better fisherman.
I don't think so. I don't like fishing at all. I think it's fucking boring. Like if she said, I mean, I genuinely have had this experience where like before when I was dating, somebody would be like, yeah, like, you know, what do you like to do for fun? And they'd be like, oh, I love to go fishing. And I'm just like, really? I just don't like it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, it doesn't matter what you say to me. I'm not going to be like, hey, like, yeah, like that string that you bought the other day. Like, that's a good one. Yeah. Like, it just wouldn't like, it wouldn't be natural. That's my point. To me being interested in her acting career is natural because I also watch movies. I also watch shows and I dissect them and I look at them and I'm like, huh, this thing, that. And it's something that I'm also good at. So then, okay, great. It works out.
Yeah. I guess like, cause I do like that, but like last girl I dated did modeling, was trying to make it in modeling and wanted to build her social media. But then everybody I know is that wants to build their social media. I'm like, okay, here's how you do it. You do this, this, and this. I'm like so good at this. And then they don't do anything. And I'm like, it just kind of feels like, all right, well.
But that's a damn problem.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it didn't work out. Yeah. And so, but the reality of it is the right person, it would have. The right person who is motivated, the right person who wants to do that, then would see value in it and be like, oh my God, yes. And then, yes, I'm going to do it. And then you would get satisfaction from that. Maybe. And they would get satisfaction from it. And that just keeps moving up because you're building something together.
Because I think also since it sounds like you value discipline too, and they're not disciplined enough to be like, wait, now my partner's helping me with this. And then you're getting frustrated that you're helping them and they're actually not acting on it. Because you're inherently like you are disciplined, and it sounds like you probably want someone disciplined too. Like that's one of like the traits that you probably want.
But I've never thought about it like, oh, like I want a girl who's disciplined. That's what I like look for in a girl. It's always been like, oh, like I like girls who are very sweet, for example.
Yeah.
And like kind, like that's my type. You know.
Yeah.
I've never thought like, oh, I want a girl who's like disciplined and like, I don't know, like the image that generates in my head isn't like somebody I'm attracted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it is. Even though that you might not think of it as a quality that attracts you, I think throughout time and as you progress in life, that is a quality that you are going to find attractive versus somebody who doesn't have it.
Maybe.
Because the reality of it is you do have that personality. So somebody who isn't like that at all is going to come off a little like, oh, they're not doing shit with their life. That's not an attractive attribute at all.
Yeah. I think it's hard to meet girls at the clubs in LA that are doing shit with their life. That might be the problem.
That's not true. That's not true.
Who do we go out with that's really like doing shit with their life? I mean, you don't have to say names, I guess.
I mean, you know who.
In our friend group. Who's a girl?
Not just who were you playing piano with the other day?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
She's very disciplined.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, also when you're at the club, it's kind of hard to have that conversation like, hey.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you guys this whole time.
But that's also where I'm like, I'm not meeting my person out at a club. That's why I'm like showing up in other areas where I'm like, okay, I'm going to a run club because I'm interested in run club. I love my health. I want to be, really good at running. And so then, okay, hopefully the person that I'm going to meet would do that too.
This is interesting. I was talking to somebody about this. So my wife actually, there was a Equinox run thing the other day. And she was like, do you want to go? And I was like, I'm like dying. I'm not waking up at cause the night before we had gone out and this was at 9 a.m. or some shit like that. And I was just like, this is not happening. And, I do run and I play football, not the shitty American football, the actual football. And so, I do running in general. So it's not like, I don't like running, but it's just waking up that early when, I went to bed at 4 a.m. It was just a big of a hassle. And so anyway, point being, I was like, oh no. But then I was so curious about this, all these people that are going there. Are you expecting to get hit on while you're running or afterwards or something, somebody come up to you? Is that a, hey, if that happened, I'm totally open to it. And are all the other women there feeling the same way, given that they're single or not?
I would say yes. I am going there to meet someone, hopefully, ideally. If it turns out to be a friendship instead, probably not interested in that because I feel like my life is full as it is.
Yeah.
And so I would be going to these social events and showing up to, coffee club, wine club, run club, all these things to meet someone. And I would say, honestly, 10 out of 10 times the girls are too. And the guys too. You'll literally see on their platforms, they'll be like, hi, I'm Audrey. And I'm like, they'll literally interview people like, I'm single. And so it's like, free advertisement. Okay, great. Perfect.
That's funny.
Run Club does have like a culture of like, oh, it's like single people trying to meet, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know why. Like, I always see Instagram posts like, oh, the best place to meet somebody's Run Club. Like, I always see these things.
Totally. Which I'm like, okay, who's actually going to talk to me when they're like out of breath? You know, like
Right.
trying to
Or,
run
like,
10
sweating.
miles.
Yeah, but don't you like everybody like grabs a beer afterward or something?
That's the thing. Like, I
Okay.
feel like a lot of clubs like
Cancels
that
out your
now.
gains from the run.
Exactly. Well, you gotta get the carbs, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. You got to get the quick carbs.
It's just like I feel like I'd be so self-conscious. Like every time after a game, I'm like sweaty and just like I smell and like my mouth is all like dry and I'm just like, who the like I don't want to meet me.
But they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about, oh my gosh, you just played the best game of your whole life. I want to go meet this guy. Like,
I know. I guess I don't know, but to me, like that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like as soon as somebody comes up to me afterwards, I'm just like, I don't feel good in this position.
You're
just so vulnerable. You're like, okay,
I'm
actually,
just like
don't talk to
right
me.
before I'm just like wiping my face and stuff. It's just it's a whole thing.
But that's why I feel like we're bound to meet people at places that we put ourselves in, you know? And so if you're going to the clubs, you're going to meet someone who is like a stereotypical club goer, you know? And maybe that means they're not as disciplined and like they'd rather be a night owl and get drunk and whatever, you know? I'm generalizing, but for me, I'm a morning person. I want to get up and like move my body and I want to go on a walk with the girls. And so I'm putting myself in those positions to hopefully meet someone at those kind of social and like club events, I guess, you know, community events, where I feel like the West Side has that a little bit more than
probably
this side of town.
Probably. Here you have to like run with like your pepper spray like out, you know, just in case. It's a little more sketchy.
Yeah, that's why I moved down to the West Side. Like I want to be a little bit more comfortable around here, but that's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to put myself in areas and places that my person is also probably doing the same thing, you know? So if your person's a club goer, then keep going to the clubs.
Okay, final question. What's a perfect first date?
Oh, I love this. Okay. Being a Taurus, back to the Taurus, I like the finer things in life. Even though gift giving is like a little bit lower on my list, I do like the finer things in life. I would say the perfect date is going to a happy hour or early dinner. And first of all, I need the check to be paid for. And there have been way too many times where it's either, oh, do you want to split the bill? Or there was this one guy, side tangent, that he literally looked at the bill and he was like, how do I do this? I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? And he was like, well, my ex-girlfriend, I'm like, okay, not the ex-girlfriend comment. My ex-girlfriend, she always expected me to pay. And I'm like, okay, but you asked me on this first date. What do you mean? How do you do this? Ended up literally splitting the bill because I was so uncomfortable with that conversation. I was like, just let's split it and go on with our day. But back to a perfect ideal date, it would be dinner, honestly lasting maybe like 3 or 4 hours, couple glasses of wine, and then if we're feeling it, a little smooch, and then we go our separate ways. Like he doesn't, a little smooch,
Okay.
Little smooch. He didn't pick me up though. Like I drove there. I don't want like, I need a first impression, you know, and I don't want it to be like, okay, drop me off. You're coming back to my place. Like that's not who I am. Like there's the chase, the game, you know what I mean? So yeah, it'd be a good dinner, good happy hour, maybe over like sunset or something. I'm a romantic. I like, to be wine and dine. So that'd be perfect.
Good to know. Good to know. Hopefully the right person will come along in the not too long distance future.
I hope so.
And Wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for your
for having
honesty and
me.
openness. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.